Reporting live from Mary University, this is Felix Tini. Today is the second day and final of the 2025 Capstone presentations. Please welcome Lindsay Jason, Anna Cohen, Jacob McLean, Kyle Driscoll, Jacob Rusley, Lauren Swanson, and your host for the event, Cameron Gorman and Vincent Ghostman.
Thank you, Felix. Presenters, please sit. Good afternoon. My name is Vincent Goldschmidt. And I'm Cameron Gorman. We are your hosts for this wonderful event. Before we begin today, we do ask that everyone please silence their cell phones. Also, if you need to exit the room at any point, we do ask that you wait until after the presentations have concluded to not take away from all of my classmates' great work for today. We want to begin by welcoming some familiar faces back and all brand new guests for today's day 2 of the annual Marywood Multimedia Communication Capstone presentations. Our capstone projects are a culmination of our learning during our tenure in the Multimedia Communications program. We proposed a project in our junior year and spent our senior year producing it. We are encouraged to create a project that showcases our expertise as well as our passions. With mentoring and supervision along the way, we work independently to bring our projects to life. We also want to draw your attention to the fact that while we were finalizing our projects, we also produced every piece of 20s versus 20s marketing material you may have seen announcing our event today. From the video you just watched behind me to the social media posts shared on Instagram, Facebook, and wherever else, the slideshow presented behind me, and to this very script from which I'm reading. With every piece, we exercised our communication skills. We're going to get right to the presentations, but before we do, we want to give a special thanks to our multimedia communication faculty and staff for their support throughout our Marywood careers. We want to give a special shout out to Director of Broadcast Operations, Mr. Ray Mangoni, Assistant Director of Broadcast Operations, Mr. Jim Donnelly, and Assistant Professor of Practice, Mr. Bill Murphy, for all the ways they've helped us during our time here. In particular, they have provided extra special support to this class. Ernie assisted us with the opening video with all of his great acting. Hopefully he has a new career coming his way very shortly. Jim and Bill were both also incredible helps for making all of our projects so successful for today. We honestly could not have done it without the help of those three gentlemen, and we truly thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We do ask that you all come to the front of the room to join us as we show a little piece of gratitude towards you guys.
We are on a tight schedule, so
Sorry.
Not gonna run.
one more round of applause for these gentlemen.
Thanks. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, with that out of the way, it's time for the show that everyone has been waiting for. Today, we have lined up 7 fantastic presentations who have worked nonstop on their passion projects. With 2 podcasts, a documentary, a TV series, a marketing campaign, a journalism series, and a sports broadcast, the next 3 hours will be packed with a wide variety of different types of content.
Though you may not be seeing the full projects today, we will all have 15 minutes to show you what we've been working so hard on. Links will be provided to all guests through the QR codes you will see in our presentation slides. Our schedule will begin with 4 presentations, followed by a 15-minute Q&A where you can inquire about any of the first 4 projects presented. Then there will be a 10-minute break, after which the final 3 presenters will share their projects. Another Q&A will follow.
So, without further ado, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Starting off this exciting day of presentations, we have Lindsay Jason. In her time at Marywood, Lindsay has accomplished a lot. She has enjoyed her time in all of the multimedia groups from 91.7 BMFM, Marywood Films, The Woodward, and TV Marywood. Outside of the department, Lindsay serves as the Communications Manager for Student Government Association and the Activities Coordinator for the Department of Global Education. For her Capstone project, she furthered her professional career by creating a marketing campaign for the Marywood Office of Global Education. Getting paid and completing her capstone, I don't know what other way you could possibly expect that. That is just amazing. So without further ado, I am proud to introduce Lindsay Jason.
Hello. As I said, my name's Lindsay Jason, and I'm specializing in journalism and public communication. Throughout my time at Marywood, I've been a part of a few clubs and organizations. Specifically, Marywood Student Government Association, TV Marywood, 91.7 BMFM, Marywood Films, and a year with The Woodward. Along with this, since my freshman year, I've been involved with Marywood's Office of Global Education as a peer mentor, activities coordinator, and more recently, I was hired as their part-time international student activities coordinator. Due to being involved with the Office of Global Education for quite some time and really enjoying with my time with that department, I decided that for my senior capstone project, I would create a marketing campaign for the Office of Global Education, which I cleverly titled Office of Global Education Marketing Campaign. The main goal of my project is to inform traditional students about the work and accomplishments that the office is continuously doing to improve Marywood University as a whole. In my campaign, I was able to give a presentation to student leaders, host an information booth, and create content for a mock Instagram account and an official Instagram account. Today, I will be showing you some of the content that I was able to create. So unfortunately for both you guys and myself, I will be speaking for pretty much the whole duration of this presentation. Okay, so I promise this looks very wordy, but this is one of the slides with the most words, so we're good. So I want to read this to you so you guys get a full understanding of why I wanted to do this marketing campaign in the first place and the end goal, what the end goal of the campaign looks like. So Marywood's Office of Global Education has been completely transformed and is currently showcasing Marywood University across the world. Starting around 4 years ago, the Global Department began to welcome many international students to our university from countries such as South Korea, Egypt, and Taiwan. The list of international students and universities wanting to call Marywood their home away from home is constantly growing. So the question is, why aren't more traditional students excited about this? One reason may be because they are unaware about what is fully happening. Along with that, traditional students may not fully understand the impact and meaning international students bring to their university. Having students from countries across the world seek out Marywood and give great effort to attend university here should make students proud to be part of this community. My marketing campaign will ensure that traditional Marywood students will become fully informed about the work and advancements that the Office of Global Education is doing to the campus. I will be increasing exposure of the program to traditional students and in turn helping to create a fully welcoming environment for current and future international students who come to Marywood. So I did this campaign with 3 main steps. The first step was to speak directly to student leaders. The second was to create social media content and build an online presence. And then the third was to host that information booth. So first and foremost, speak to student leaders. Let me exit this. Okay. Speak to student leaders. So I chose to speak to the Student Government Association directly about the office and inform them as to what they can personally do to help create a welcoming environment on the campus. I chose this group of students because SGA I would say has one of the most diverse amount of students who attend these meetings from all areas all over campus. So it was the perfect opportunity for me to speak directly to a large number. So the presentation length was 6 to 7 minutes long, and I talked to about 45 students. So about the presentation. Through the presentation, these were the main topics that I spoke about. I listed the primary goals, the office mission statement, why there's an international student increase on campus, what students could do to create a welcoming environment, why students should be proud to be a PACER, with the reasoning being that international students are seeking out their university. I'm not going to give you the full rundown of those slides, but these are 2 example slides that were featured in that presentation to students. So I have the primary goals, just to name a few: create lifelong global leaders, build and maintain an international community in a campus environment, and serve as an advocate for international and cross-cultural experiences. And then another slide that was in there was help us create a welcoming environment for international students, urging them to lead by example, with reasonings being to be proactive, speak slower, make an effort, and avoid assumptions. These are all reasons that I got directly from international students, having worked with them for 4 years. A main thing is speak slower. Native English speakers talk really fast, kind of how I'm talking really fast right now because I'm nervous. To give someone extra help, traditional students can just test the waters by speaking just a tad bit slower at this pace, which I should be speaking right now. Okay, my second goal. I wanted to create an online presence. So this included making an Instagram account and creating content for that account. The content that I created would be aimed towards informing students, building a brand, and spreading the word about our office goals. So the official Instagram account is @MU Global Education, and the mock account is @Mock Global Education, which was created as a way to showcase and pre-plan content. For those of you who don't know what a mock account is, it's basically a fake account that I would just post content in advance with. So the picture over here shows the official account, and I came up with this bio stating that the world is our classroom, fostering cross-cultural understanding and collaboration, and creating lifelong global leaders. Shout out to Kyle for following. Yeah, and then right here I have the website link that will take you directly to Global Education's website and Marywood's official internet account. So here in total is the mock account at a glance. As you can see, lots of posts. I have 30 posts in total, 7 reels and or videos, 22 Instagram stories published, and 4 posts that I shared to our official Instagram account. The content type that is featured would be information regarding our ESL programs, dorm tours, info booth promo, which I'll get into in a bit, our office goals, student pictures, ask an international student, which are videos with our students, a meet our team post, and then how to make dalgona cookies, which actually features my grandma as a cameraman, which I will show you soon. So having a social media calendar is pretty important before you start making these posts. So right here, this is just a way for me to pre-plan content in advance. I started my campaign on February 29th. I don't know why. I probably should have started it March 1st, but I just did it that way. And then it ends May 31st, so it's a 3-month long campaign. I have it all color coded here, so pink are the videos that I posted, pictures are that purple color, and then informational posts are in that orange. For the first month, I really went information heavy just because I was planning on drawing students to the Instagram account in general. So I thought that the more engagement the account would get, I thought it was important for students to first and foremost pick up the information and learn about our office. Here is the calendar for the month of April. Again, I cut down information here and then I started posting more videos. And then this is the final month with 10 posts. As you can see, I only have one information. The one thing that every month has in common is each month I put information regarding our IEP or ESL program because that's just a program that our office is really starting to push and want people to know about. So right here is a message from Program Alum. It's a video that I made with my friend Sujin Kim, who came to our university about 2 years ago today and is now a full-time nurse in South Korea.
Hi, government. My name is Sujin Kim. I'm graduating university. Now I'm a nurse in Busan University Hospital in South Korea. I went to exchange education. I was in Soviet Union.
So that was one video that I made. It's meant to be very short because we all know our attention spans on social media are not the best. So that was that. So, and then here's 2 other posts that I made. These aren't videos. One is showcasing our program closing ceremony, which was a photo reel. And then another one was aimed at increasing international student attendance to our school, saying we welcome students from all over the world. And right here is a picture of our orientation and then just a graphic of the flags. Now, hosting an info booth. During this booth, I handed out papers that gave information regarding our ESL program, an office overview, meet our team, and obviously promoting that Instagram account that I talked about. Due to high student participation, I was only able to be there for 2 hours before my supplies ran out. So I was there from 9:30 in the morning to 11:30 in the morning. And the theme of this booth was Dalgona cookies, which was a Dalgona cookie challenge, which was seen on the Netflix show Squid Game. These are 2 examples of the flyers that I handed out during that booth. How was I able to get student participation? Which is the question that everyone at Marywood University asks. So Squid Game is considered the most watched series on Netflix. Season 1 earned 265 million views, and Season 2 earned 126 million views in 11 days. Since the show was made in South Korea and featured South Korean children's games, I knew that I wanted to incorporate it as an aspect of my booth. I had students try the Dalgona Cookie Challenge, which is basically just trying to cut out a shape in the middle of a fragile cookie. So I made 50 cookies with my grandma. I wanted to make 100 until I found out how hard these cookies were to make. She yelled at me every time I threw out one. So each student that took a cookie also received a paper that I made, which gave them information about the office. And then the people who were able to successfully carve it out, were entered into a raffle to receive a $50 Amazon gift card. So here's a video I made just from hosting that booth and recording students. here's some pictures that I was able to take of students during that day. So right here, I'm not going to show it today, but I turned into Martha Stewart for some reason while doing this project, and I showed people a tutorial on how to make these cookies, which would be shared to the Instagram account, which you could see that if you follow the link at the end of this presentation to take you to my mock global count. And then here's just some finishing pictures that I took of the office and our students. And then these are Instagram videos that you could find if you follow that link. And that's it. So for my campaign, I definitely had an advantage. Firstly, I'm super familiar with the Office of Global Education and know exactly what information I wanted to communicate to people through my project. Along with this, I had lots of support and encouragement from my professors and Dr. David Kang, Bella, Matthew, and Cindy. On the other hand, from doing my project, I learned the importance of staying organized and having different locations for the sake of backgrounds and videos. Also, the Dalgona cookies were super hard to make, and the next time I have to go easy on the baking soda. Also, it melted my grandma's spatula, and to this day, she's very upset with the lady in the tutorial video because she swears that she lied about the heat setting that she used. After I graduate, I plan on keeping my office in the Learning Commons and staying with the Office of Global Education as the full-time International Student Activity Coordinator. Thank you.
The next presenter we have is Brianna Koba. During her time at Maryland, she's enjoyed DJing at our award-winning radio station, KMFM 91.7, where she has served under the alias of DJ Brique for most of her college career, as well as being a staff writer for The Woodward for all 4 years. Her project is a podcast series that grew from her interest in indie music, which she gained at KMFM. This series interviews various indie musicians to gain their perspectives on their respective successes and difficulties. Please welcome Brianna Koba.
Hello, everyone. Like Vinny just said, I'm Brianna Koba. Thank you all for coming and being here today. I greatly appreciate the good turnout that we have today. Like you said, for most of my time at Marywood, I was a DJ at BMFM 91.7. There I absolutely fell in love with the music they were playing. I know that alternative and indie music is not for everyone, and it's not made to be for everyone, but I loved it. It opened my eyes to a bunch of awesome artists and songs I probably never would have discovered if I hadn't needed practicum hours. I wanted to help these artists promote themselves a little bit more since, being indie and all alternative means that you're pretty niche and you don't really enter too many followers. But being how busy I was, I quickly realized trying to invest too much time in the radio station was a bit of a lost cause. Like I said, the music isn't for everyone, but eventually, while I was kind of stewing over the summer, thinking about what I would do for this project, I realized that trying to get in touch with a few of my favorite indie artists to try to interview them and promote themselves would make a good project idea, a good podcast idea, be a good way of channeling my interests and frustrations into something that could keep me interested as I kept working on it, which brings me to my project. On the Fringe is an interview-based podcast, like I mentioned, that I came up with the idea in the summer, developed further in the fall, and then actually did the interviews over the past couple of months this spring. The basic idea is that it gives indie musicians the opportunity to project themselves and kind of show themselves a little bit to a world that prefers top 40 artists and pop hits. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with top 40 hits and pop songs. I love Chappell Roan and Charlie XCX over here, as I'm sure many of you do. But I felt like giving them an opportunity to speak for themselves would be a good idea. Over the course of each episode, I speak with a different musician about their songwriting processes, their feelings about touring, any upcoming projects they have, just to name a few things. And I was also able to collect some fan-submitted mailbag questions to ask them from like-minded people in indie communities that I joined online. And by the end of each episode, the ultimate question that I seek to answer is what does it mean for each of them to be on the fringe, away from mainstream label pressure, able to make the music they want, do whatever they want pretty much? What does that mean to them? All three of them had very different perspectives, so I will introduce you to all three of my guests. I will play a short clip from each episode, but if you would like to view the full episodes, they will be coming out on their Spotify page and YouTube page I created for this podcast. The link will be over there by the refreshments and at the end of this presentation if you'd like to see the full episodes. And yes, if anyone has any questions about the artist and would like me to ramble about them a bit more than I already am, I will entertain those questions during the Q&A. So my first guest was the one that I was probably the most nervous to talk to. Greg Katz, who is the lead singer and frontman of LA indie band Cheekface. If you have been around me at all for the past year, you have heard of these guys. I cannot stop talking about them. They have become one of my favorite bands. And they've played some sold-out shows at clubs in Brooklyn and Chicago and Pittsburgh, so, they're not exactly small, indie-wise anyway. But they are pretty involved with their fans, so I knew I had to at least attempt to ask for an interview with him, just on the off chance he would say yes. And when I did finally drum up the courage to ask him, and he replied within 30 minutes to ask when and what time, I knew that this was going to be within the top 3 moments of my life. He was an absolute pleasure to interview. He was patient with my nervousness. He had a good sense of humor, and he gave very well-informed answers. It's clear that there is absolutely nothing else he would rather be doing. So just to show you a little taste of our conversation, here is a little clip where he answers my question about what it means to be indie.
I'm grateful to be able to play music with my friends. More than anything, I just keep coming back to that.
And yes, that did actually happen. She reposted one of their tweets on an Instagram post she made at the end of her tour. Absolutely nothing happened to their streaming numbers. I'm still not over it. And just as a side note, if you listen to the full episodes, the theme music you'll hear at the beginning and end of each episode is an instrumental from one of Cheekface's songs. Greg gave me permission to use it. So, of course, my biggest, warmest thanks goes out to him for the interview. Our full conversation came out last week. It's out now. And, if you like what he has to say, check out their music. They're everywhere you listen to music. So next up was Harry Atkinson, the frontman of UK rock band Super Friends. We became aware of each other after I joined Cheekface's Discord server, where he's one of the moderators. He saw me drumming up the courage to ask Greg for an interview, and he offered to give one as well, because obviously he's in a band as well, and I accepted. Here is a little bit of our conversation where he talks about one of his band songs being featured in a cartoon on Netflix. And for those of you who want to see the episode yourself, Exploding Kittens, episode 7, the song that they picked of theirs is called Blimpy Boy.
There's this dude from California. I forget the name of.
Yeah. Funny how lazy people looking for songs gives indie bands a chance to shine like that. Harry tells me that Super Friends has new music coming out this year, so you should definitely check them out as well when you have the time. Thank you as well, obviously, to Harry for sitting down for an interview, especially with the 6 hour time difference between here and the UK. That episode will be available at 3 o'clock right after this presentation, so again, definitely check that out when you have the time. And my final guest was actually a solo artist as opposed to someone from a band, Katie McTeague, aka San Jose-based musician Pacing. She and Cheekface definitely have a lot of overlap, so much so she's been their opening act on tour this year. But before she headed out on the road, I was able to chat with her about opening for her favorite artist and what she has planned for the future. Here is just a little short clip of her talking about her latest single, then latest single, which stems from grief and the fact that Planet Fitness doesn't let you cancel your membership unless it's in person.
Do we like pass it?
She told me it's been 2 years, so if she was able to laugh, I think I was okay to laugh at that. Yeah, she has a new album coming out this summer, Pacing. Make sure to check her out as well. She just dropped a new single today, so, check that out too. My warmest thanks again goes out to Katie for the interview, especially on such short notice, but we'll get to that. For now, her episode will be released next Wednesday, so make sure to follow my podcast on Spotify and YouTube and stay tuned for that. Now on to the successes and struggles of my project. Firstly, all things considered, it was pretty easy to nail down my interviews. Once I approached them, my guests seemed pretty on board with what I had planned, and our conversations felt very casual, which I wanted that sort of feeling. And they all told me afterwards that I had interesting questions, and hopefully they meant that in a good way. The software I used to record the interview was also really good. All of them were remote, as you saw, but the software called Riverside, it recorded each of our feeds locally and then edited them together to remove any glitches and signal issues, so it looked really smooth, as you could see. So my thanks goes to the Multicom faculty, especially Jim Donnelly, for introducing me to Riverside. It saved a lot of headaches, and it looked a lot better than Zoom. Now on to the weaknesses, because every single one of these projects has one of those. Editing did take me probably the most time out of anything, because admittedly I haven't had as much experience with editing software like Adobe Premiere as a lot of my classmates. If I'd have known this was going to be my senior project in my freshman year, I would have started editing as soon as possible, but I didn't, so it took me a little bit of time. I'm still proud of what I did, though. I still think it looks and sounds nice. Still proud of what I made. But bigger than that was there was an issue that was the reason I was not forced, because it was still a pleasure to talk to her, but an issue arose that led to me interviewing Katie Pacing. I won't name which band, as I'm still friends with all of them, and I don't want to wish them any ill will whatsoever, but my initial intent was to interview a local band from right here in NEPA. But only a few days to go before the interview, some sort of interband issue started surfacing, and not even one of them was able to help me out with the interview. I'm not sure about the full details. I don't think I would want to blab about that. So, luckily, when I contacted her in like a blaze of panic, Katie was really chill and she was willing to step in and help me out, but it was still tough to hear that from the band and have to quickly reach out to the one person who had a slim chance of helping me. I went the whole project thinking I wasn't going to run into one of those big issues, but of course, right at the end, I hit one. But as for what is next for this podcast for On the Fringe, I don't want to just abandon it completely because I still have a really great enthusiasm for indie music, and there's a lot of artists I have in mind that I could talk to try to spotlight. But obviously, it's taking a back seat for right now while I figure out exactly where I'm going after Marywood. And speaking of what I'm doing after Marywood, my goal is to try to go into the entertainment industry. Ideally, to write scripts, or whether it's for movies or TV shows or something else, but whether it's that or being behind a camera, I just want to make a living doing something that I love and enjoy. So that is what I have here to present for you all today. I hope you all enjoyed. Please check out the full episodes and support these artists. They deserve all the love in the world. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of your lives.
Next up, we have Jacob McLean. In his time at Marywood, Jacob has served as the technical director and news director for the TVM broadcast. He also worked as a DJ for VMFM 91.7, as well as confusing our professors on whether it actually is Jacob McLean or Nathan McLean. Jacob's documentary project explores Morgantini Racing Services, the challenges they face, and the future of their business. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines for Jacob McLean.
So for my documentary, I highlighted a local racing service shop, Morgantini Racing. This place is not just your average garage. I truly didn't know what I was walking into when I got there. If you don't already know me by now, I love cars. I wanted to create this documentary after I discovered my passion for filming the automotive world. It was such an awesome feeling being able to film a shared passion for my final project. Lou and his team were great to work with, and I want to say thank you to Lou for he let me do whatever I wanted without ever questioning me. Overall, this was a great learning experience being able to work with them. My documentary cannot do their work enough justice. I don't want to bore you with too much talking, so we're now going to watch the documentary. Enjoy. So with that, I had a couple struggles. The first struggle I had was not overstepping my boundaries. Obviously, I wanted to be as respectful as possible. Along with that, I had struggled with some technical difficulties due to my nerves. I had to reshoot my whole interview because the first time it was completely out of focus. I also found out how quick it could be how hard it could be to frame a nice shot in a busy garage, especially when they are building multiple machines at once. It's hard to pick a focus. I also found myself in somebody's way quite often. On top of working 2 jobs with a full class schedule, it was an insane semester. I've never experienced such a burnout until now. Compiling all the footage I took and editing took a large amount of time, but I'm happy with the result. I want to give a very special thank you to my dad for helping me with creative ideas and just being there to support me when I didn't know what I was doing. I also want to thank Lou Morgantini for allowing me to film my final project with them. It was a pleasure being able to create a project on a subject I love. Thank you.
Finishing up the first half of our presentations, we will hear from Kyle Driscoll. While at Marywood, Kyle has been the station manager for BMFM 91.7 for 2.5 years. An anchor for TV Marywood, has developed one of the greatest VO voices I've ever heard, has become an accomplished actor, and is always the biggest Weird Al fan you will ever meet. For his capstone, Kyle created a series titled Radio Radio, following the story of a college radio station. It's time to tune into Kyle Driscoll.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for coming out to our Capstone presentation day, or as I like to call it, the day where my parents find out what the hell they've been paying for these last 4 years. As Vinny said, my name is Kyle Driscoll. My project is a television series called Radio Radio. Got any Elvis Costello fans in the house? I got one. Thank you. The show is a mockumentary-style sitcom focusing on the inner workings of a college radio station and its dysfunctional staff. It's a subject I happen to know a lot about, considering I am the station manager of a dysfunctional college radio staff. 2.5 years ago, is it hit too close to home? 2.5 years ago, I was tapped to take over as station manager for Marywood's own campus radio station, BMFM 91.7. I was initially excited, until I learned I was the only one who applied. Despite this appointment being partly out of desperation, I have enjoyed working at the radio station most of the time. My experiences there have given me a lot of material to pull from when writing the show. When it came time to pick a project, I knew I wanted to do something involving video production, screenwriting, and something about radio. And not because I sound like this. I aim to capture the vibe of what radio life has been like during my time here at the Wood. Early in the semester, we learned that BMFM will be moving from the basement of the Lorraine Commons to a new, more visible location on the first floor. It will be one with cool amenities such as windows, sunlight. As a result, my project has unintentionally ended up becoming a sort of time capsule for what BMFM has been like the past decade. I'm also thankful Dr. Watanis approved my proposal because I had nothing else ready. The show in question features Marie, an enthusiastic transfer student who comes to the fictional Moynihan University, where she is taken under the wing of the curmudgeonly station manager, Brian. The series explores various situations the radio staff encounters, some of which may or may not be based on true events. Which ones are true? I'm gone a week, so I guess we'll never know. I wrote scripts for 3 episodes and filmed a full-length pilot episode. What you'll be seeing today is the first act of the pilot. For the non-screenwriting inclined, this is basically everything you would see up until the first commercial break. Enjoy, I beg of you. Well, that was certainly one of the capstones of all time. There were many challenges I faced when producing the show. First off, I'm not sure why I decided to do essentially 2 capstones. After seeing 3 years worth of these projects, I know I could have gotten away with just filming the pilot or writing the scripts, but I ended up doing both. Some would say doing both was ambitious. My schedule would call it stupid. Looking back, which was probably not the best decision, but who needs sleep anyway? I often find that I do my best work at 1 in the morning. I also threw out the entire first day of shooting because I wasn't satisfied with the results. The first shoot day, I used cameras that require batteries that only last for 2 hours, which is not great when your shoot is planned for 4 hours. Another issue that came up was that some cast and crew members, as humans have a tendency to do, got sick, so the schedule was all over the place. I wish I could say the project was all fun and smooth sailing, but to be honest, at times it was a huge pain and I'm so happy it's finally over. Despite the boatload of hurdles, I had a lot of fun working on the project, and I hope you enjoy watching and reading the full series. If you don't, well, enjoy the popcorn over there or whatever. There are an absurd number of people I would like to thank. First, I want to shout out my cast members. Riel Sheeland, it was a pleasure to give you a role where you didn't have to be drunk or get murdered. Delia Mendez, thank you for your dedication to the role of Clyde, and I forgive you for getting sick and delaying our shoot. It's all good. Thank you, Yamale Nader Almonte. Yamale, I promise Donna was not based on you. Maybe a little. Thank you, Felix Latini. You did a great job with your one line, even though we had to hold it up off camera for you to read. Bernie Radel, I knew your segment wasn't shown today, but I couldn't think of a better person to fill the shoes of the worst rapper of all time. You'll have to watch the series to find what that's all about. This project also wouldn't have been possible with the help of my crew, Ben Galco, Faith Gibbons, Hunter Long, Felix Latini, and Bernard Radel. I want to give a big thank you to my professor, Gabby D'Amico, for fostering my love of screenwriting and for believing in my attempts to write funny things. Thank you to my fellow radio executives and friends, Janelle Simonis, Colby Hughes, and Lindsay Jason. Thank you to former comm students Nick Ferraro and Jake Razimovich for taking me in as a freshman and showing me the ropes of radio and life in general. Miss you both. I'd like to thank my parents. Without them, I would quite literally not be standing here today. Despite my mom constantly asking what I've been working on, I have not told her a single thing about my project all semester, an arrangement she has loved. Is that right, Ma? I want to give thanks to my bosses and mentors, Kevin Farrell, Alex Riccio, and Patrick Joyce for always being there for me. Thank you to Ryan Hauser for all the support you've given, and thank you to Ashley Krasinski, Carrie Toomey, and the whole gang at Marywood's Marketing Office for your encouragement. So what's next for me? My ultimate goal after graduation is to get paid. Whether that's in broadcast news, TV production, radio, marketing, or one of the other million things I've dipped my toes into, I'm not exactly sure. If anyone here is hiring, let a brother know. I And we will be moving on to a Q&A session now. So remember, the fewer questions you ask, the quicker we get to break. And with that, great performance. Thank you, Kyle. We have concluded the first 4 presentations. Now we have a few minutes for any questions for our first 4 presenters. So will you guys please join us at the front of the room? And as always, who would like to be the lucky soul to go first? Randy, as always, thank you.
Hey Kyle, Randy Rapp here. Long time caller, first time listener. What shows inspired you to make
I was going for an Office meets WKRP in Cincinnati vibe.
Okay, pretty cool. All right, everybody, I'm going home.
We need a soundboard. Ernie?
For the juniors in the room, what advice, this is for Eddie, would you give them with regards to their action?
Start as soon as possible. I know, me personally, I said I hit burnout, got very lazy. Try not to do that. Obviously, start as soon as possible. Lay the foundation out for yourself.
Don't pick 2 projects.
I would say if you're not already good at editing, practice editing now, because like I said, if I'd have known that I was going to be editing the raw footage of each interview was like an hour and a half, and I had to cut them down. So I would say, unless you're doing like a photo gallery, which I've only seen one senior do that before, you're going to be doing some kind of editing for your project. So if you're not already decent at it, maybe practice a little bit over the summer or in the fall when you're still deciding what to do.
I'd say start as soon as possible and choose something you like, or else you'll be miserable the whole semester.
I say.
That's great. So what this is kind of pertaining to Capstone. What is your opinion on local band Peach Polaroid? I have to ask you because
Yes. So Peach Polaroid is a local band that my friend Ethan plays trombone in. Very good band. They play at Your Boys in Wilkes-Barre and the B Spot in Scranton sometimes. If you don't know what to do over the summer, they'll probably be playing a few gigs. Please go check them out. If you want to hear a rock band with a trombone in it, highly recommend.
Okay. Finally develop appreciation for power.
Yes, I did. Never dropped.
Jim?
What's the obsession with cheat face? And Lindsay, when are you going to start a podcast again with?
I guess I'll take that first. Cheat face, yeah. So it was just a normal radio shift last winter, 2024. I played one of their songs from like their album from last year, and I was like, I don't know whether this is annoying or funny, but I really like it, and I want to hear more from this band. So I did, and I found out that like in 2023, I had heard a song of theirs. I didn't even know it was them. For some reason, my mind didn't even make the connection. So I started listening to them. I've absolutely loved them. I would say check them out on tour, but their tour has already finished. All of it stopped in 2 hours of here. So check them out now, so that next time when their tour dates for next year go on sale, you can check them out too. They're like kind of like Talking Heads and Cake. If any of you know those 2 bands, put in a blender. They're great. Check them out.
I will never do a podcast. Ever. Thank you.
some bit that came true at Harvard applied as Brian checked email, and I said I don't check those. And then Riel had real about something this week. They got mad and said he didn't answer me. They say it's in the script.
I was talking with Riel earlier this week, and she had said that when you were shooting radio, you guys kept calling each other by your actual names. So what I would like to know is how long did it take you to get to the actual shooting process? Because you guys kept calling each other by your actual names because they were so close to your actual characters.
The longest thing that was 12 days one scene. Tried to not pick something that was too similar to everybody's beliefs. Characters are Brian is pretty obvious. Other characters are based off of different people that have passed through like time here and there. So
For all four of you, what is the most surprising thing you've learned about yourself as a professional communicator in the course of your project?
For me, I don't like interviews. I'm just not good at it. So get better. It's time being, I'll probably respond.
focused a lot on writing. The goal is to make it funny. People laugh here today, so I think I learned that I'm at least partly good at that.
I guess I would say I'm better at doing interviews than I thought. Like, initially when I did my first episode, I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to like make that casual feel because I was so nervous. But as you may have picked up on, when I'm nervous, I ramble. So I was able to keep things flowing in all 3 episodes when it started to like lag down a little. So I genuinely feel like I could do like a podcast as like a side gig, whether it's continuing this or starting my own thing. Who knows? If I kept doing this, I would have to change the music because I promised Greg that the podcast would not be monetized. I'd have to change the back and change it to a different song. But either way, I think that maybe I can use my rambling to my advantage. Maybe I can podcast as a side gig in the future. We'll see.
I think I'm really good at doing short form content. I also think that if I was not in this field, I'd be a good realtor because I found that I'm good at doing home tours and campus tours virtually.
Thank you for those thoughtful questions and congratulations to our first presenters. We hope you all enjoyed. We're going to take a short break. There are bathrooms located to the right as you exit the room. If you need to grab some air or keep yourself some popcorn for the second half, you may feel free to do so. To the break, and we'll reconvene at 2:30.
I was thinking I didn't have to go. Yeah. Don't forget about it. I think it's that one. The series.
Guys, literally like right off the window. Really?
Dude, I know. Even yesterday.
I know.
And it's always like when we start playing either.
Very, very
Thank you. What are you giving me a present for?
Oh, so nice.
You graduating? No, you were graduating. Why did I not know you were graduating?
We need more mayors.
I didn't realize you were a senior. Yeah, Mayor.
Jim Wayman,
I have no idea. I don't know. I do want to be in the area though, since I have plans next semester.
No, I didn't even think you had it.
But aren't you in? So,
Yeah, I do.
pop up. I'll be looking. Wait, I've got to get through this week and then we'll look at the of course.
One, two.
Well, I know we can't officially play games, but we
Yeah,
do.
1, 2,
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 2.
I feel like you can't hear the mics at all. I don't know what it is. Something.
Check.
See, now you can, but you couldn't before.
It's right on the, no, it's right on the first feedback, so I turned it up as far as I can.
I don't feel like it was his on.
It was.
Sorry. Thanks, man. I'm gonna do something else.
Check, check, check. Yeah.
Where'd Bernie go? Bernie, come on. Kyle.
I don't know.
I just found one time.
We can sign here to sit. Okay. Sounds like you're not going to right? Someone wants to shut down the number. I said I had a good time. Yeah, so Kyle, if you want to, you could. 9 at night, 7 a.m. No. No. You give us a So, let's go to now. Okay.
I know.
So we had
I gotta keep it for my classes.
Higher John Sullivan. Can we start, Mike? Welcome back, everybody. If you could please find your seat as we get ready for the final three presentations of the day.
To kick off the second half of our show, to get started, we have Rachel Gorowski. As impressive as being a double major is, Rachel dove deeply into the programs Multicom has to offer, from countless roles for TDM to radio shifts for BMFM 91.7. But most importantly, with a double major in both English writing and journalism, Rachel has been a long-term writer for the Woodward. With writing playing such a big role in her studies, Rachel decided to do a long-form journalism series, showcasing her knowledge she's gained over time in America. Please put your hands together for Rachel Gorowski.
Hi everyone, as Vinny just said, I'm Rachel Zarubski, and of course, I got the luck of the draw of going right after Kyle. So remind me to yell at Kyle later for this. Anyway, I'm a senior majoring in journalism and public communication. I've been involved in the Woodward, TV Marywood, and 91.7, our radio station, since I joined the comm department in my sophomore year. My main strength is writing, but I've become a stronger speaker with my time as a DJ. My project is a long-form journalism series on the effect of AI. Now, before I get into it, I did not give my family or Julian a straight answer when they asked me about this project. It's on AI in higher education and in various industries. The fields I'll be focusing on are my own two fields, journalism, writing, architecture, art, and business. I initially struggled coming up with an idea for my project because I didn't know if I could do anything substantial that just showed off my writing. After talking to Dr. Watanis, she helped me come up with doing a long-form journalism series on a topic of interest. I chose AI because it's interesting to me and I wanted to learn more about it. It's fascinating to see how AI has affected higher education, and college graduates who will be going into these aforementioned fields will need to know what to expect. I also interviewed professors, instructors, and staff in the aforementioned fields of focus, and since one of them's here, thank you, Mr. Hiller, for helping me with my journalism project. Okay, I got some claps. The researching aspect was fairly easy because AI is so new, and at the same time, there are a bunch of sources to pull from. And interviewing with the professors was slightly more challenging, not coming up with the questions or how enthusiastic they were. And I'm grateful to everyone who's contributed, but the scheduling was a pain because I was not only working on my own schedule, I was working around other professors. But my schedule was flexible enough that I was able to meet them on Zoom anytime I wasn't able to present in person. And it was pretty hard to gauge the knowledge of AI all of my professors had. In fact, one of them vocalized that they were afraid they were going to disappoint me, but I'd like to give you the good news. You did not disappoint. In fact, the different areas of knowledge seem to work in my favor because that helped show off what fields are using AI and where it's not that big of an effect. So anyway, enough of my yapping, and right now I will be presenting a snippet of an audio edition that I voiced of my first story in the series that covers journalism. So I won't be up here like Lindsay talking, but you'll hear me on video. Yeah, as you can see, I'm great with tech stuff, guys.
On journalism education and the journalism industry, it has growth. Journalism is facing new challenges and given new opportunities because of AI. AI journalism in higher education. AI has sped up the process of publishing journalistic content, but it doesn't always get the best results. Despite this, companies see the value of AI's use in the journalism field. Because of this, some universities are trying to integrate AI into their education. Students at a university in Berkeley were taught how to use AI tools in the field for journalism. According to S. Schultz, Steve Kutzner, Deezer, and Jay Berger, students use Mari for creating articles, Moodle for the course, and photos to generate journalism content. This was a experiment that took place in Germany and was designed to increase student skills in basic publication and using AI. Students focused on multimedia design, collaboration, ethics, law, and how to provide insight. The results of the experiment showed how to help the students in a more practical way using AI. Recent scholarship has found that new tools are being used to navigate AI in journalism. According to researchers Yang Chen, Yi Liu, and Zhang Wang, there are new teaching methods for journalists to use AI. Chen and Wang also argue that AI can give people a more personalized newsfeed. The result is completely opposite of other social media apps, such as TikTok and Instagram. Most of the time, videos and/or photos based on interest, but occasionally users get something completely different. Mohammed Hussein, Alex Imran, and Hannah Kantari released this year a study called How Students Are Using AI and what challenges and advantages come out of it. So far, they found that AI can help write simple news reports, analyze data, and verify facts. Though it's not good across the board. Maryland University lecturer in education reporter John Ellis said some local newspaper reporters used AI for sports reporting that had to stop because it was getting a lot of money. He called it mention that technically we could use AI for our sports reports, but she believes that it might only be beneficial because the sports writer would have to go back and check the scores every day. But something Ellis, Hussein, Imran, and Tari said is that AI can be integrated with journalism. The
are more personally listening and efficiency. The neighborhoods are profoundly concerned about inequities, bias, and privacy. The University of Minnesota's Capstone speaker in Volume 12, Number 1 of Journalism Education, AI's concentrated internships or similar education has held exceptional purpose. Educators in the UK are setting up AI courses in the journalism field. According to a handbook for journalism educators for promoting artificial intelligence, the whole point of AI is to give journalism majors the ability to focus on their own aspects to a story. Though focusing only just on entry-level levels of journalism might be effective, but AI is more simply than this. Professor Gray recommend AI should be used in more specific roles, such as community events or sports. Journalism scholars argue that journalists should be involved in the creation of these technologies because they will help give them a journalistic perspective. However, Marywood University lecturer and television reporter Mark Gillis said that he didn't know much about AI, and his management had a meeting where they mentioned AI was not allowed at the station. According to AI and the Impact on Journalism Education, to achieve journalism digitally, students are required to have three basic skills: multimedia reporting, web design, and data analysis. AI is helping to streamline the production of newsletters created immediately and templates, transcribe and translate interviews, and to produce story drafts. Paul mentioned that she doesn't use AI much, but she does use it for transcription. In her experience, it is perfect. She also uses an AI voice to serve as her auditor to summarize her interviews, but again, she always wants to make sure it's right.
Thank you. I'm not sure what the future holds for me career-wise, but after today, I'll start to upload full audio versions of each of the stories read by me. So when you visit my site, you can decide whether you'd like to read the stories or listen to an audio version. Of course, one thing I learned from both of my majors was to give proper credit. So thank you, Dr. Watanis, for encouraging me to make an audio snippet for today, because I thought about it a bit more and got the idea to add the audio stories shortly after the capstone presentation. And thank you to audiobooks for also inspiring that idea. Thank you to everyone who came out to support me and the rest of my multi-com peers. Also, thank you to all of the professors, instructors, and adjunct who helped me during the interview portions of my project. If you're interested in my project, and I hope you are because I was pretty interested in it, go to my blog, AI, the Future of Academia and Professions, to read and or listen to the rest of my series. Also, I'm going to fix the kinks in the website so that it can get more access. All right, enough of my rambling.
Our next presenter is Soren Sponson. Soren has been one of the biggest personalities in the multi-com department, whether it's He Knows Ball, the sports broadcast, or being by Corey's side. Soren does everything 110%. Soren produced a podcast series that follows two of his favorite things, food and sports. In his 3-episode podcast titled Sporty Bites, Soren welcomes guests to share both the love of sports and food. It is time to cook with the Sauce Boss. I am proud to introduce Soren Sponson.
Well, thank you, Cameron, for that awesome introduction. And, I just want to thank everyone for being here today because, without, my peers or whatnot, I don't know where I would be right now. But for the people that may not know me, my name is Soren Sponson. I am a sports media major here at Marywood University. And today I'm excited to present my highlight reel of my 3-episode podcast series called Sporty Bites. I have always had a deep love for sports and wanted to create a project that I am passionate about in a fun and unique way. The podcast dives into talking about the latest sports news and highlights from around the world, but with an interesting twist, with the different guests on the show trying different game day takeout food from different restaurants shown on the podcast. Growing up, I've always been around sports, whether it's playing baseball, football, wrestling, or even golf. As I got older, I realized that sports builds communities and creates a sense of belonging. When I reflect throughout my 4 years at Marywood, I felt like I was at home and part of a community where I could grow and know the different opportunities within the sports media field. I've also gained knowledge on hands-on learning, camera work, video editing, writing, and storytelling, which has made me ready to work in the job market today. For me personally, I have learned valuable lessons that can be applied into the real world. One of these lessons is being able to properly shoot interviews from Professor Benelli, along with Professor Marco teaching students on how to write professional sports news stories. And it was a great experience to be able to do that, so I thank him for a lot of his work. But those are just some of the memorable experiences that I had throughout my time at Marywood. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoy the highlight video production of Sporty Bites. Now let's hope that the audio isn't that bad.
Ooh.
Well, that was something, wasn't it? Dad, I know that you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, and we're gonna root them on, man. This is gonna be a good series. So I can't wait to see,
We'll talk to your hockey expert later.
Yeah, but like I said, I really had fun, being able to create this podcast and, bring along some friends of mine that have been able to enjoy the same passion that I have with sports, and it's been awesome. So I really loved it a lot. But I would say the most challenging part of this project was definitely the filming and the editing aspect of the thing. So with the podcast episodes and, dealing with my other classes and extracurricular activities, I feel like, made the project for, being a little bit more difficult. But, time management was key, and that syncing audio, creating motion graphics, and learning new tools in Adobe After Effects added to the project's difficulty. However, the experience allowed me to showcase the best of my abilities of what I was able to achieve in college. And I would like to take time to actually give thanks to Mr. Murphy, who's sitting in the back of the room. So he has helped me a lot with the rating scale and a lot of the visual graphics that you see on the promotional video for the actual podcast. So I'm really happy about that. And I would also like to give thanks to Dr. Watanis for, the support throughout my time here at Marywood, because like I said, she's awesome. Yeah, it's made a lot of things happen. Lastly, I want to give thanks to my classmates, my friends, my family, who have helped me become the person that I am today.
And with that, thank you everybody for coming to the presentations. And with this next presentation, I think you guys will really like it. So let's get hyped for the next presentation. So here we go, guys.
I mean, I don't know how we follow that up.
You don't.
You
don't.
You drew the short straw, man. I don't know. I'm happy to introduce our final presenter, Cameron Gordon. In his time here at Marywood, Cameron has developed his skills in all fields, whether it's serving as the primary audio technician for basketball broadcast and Gino's Balls, video editing, or expanding into becoming the voice of the broadcast. The skills learned from all those aforementioned experiences are put on full display in Cameron's Capstone project. Have fun following it up. Please welcome Cameron Gordon.
So they usually say you save the best for last. That is probably not what this is, but definitely the most unique. But anyways, before I get started, hello online world, to all my family watching in either Michigan, Florida, all my friends back at home who are tuning in to watch themselves try and play this sport that you're about to see. But without further ado, if I can find my page. Hello everyone, and once again, I am Cameron Gorman, a senior sports media major, and welcome to the last Capstone presentation of the year. I have some massive shoes to fill after all the amazing work that my classmates have put on for your entertainment, and what better way than by showing the most niche Capstone presentation of them all. For my senior Capstone, I wanted to work with my passion for sports broadcasting. But before I get into that, I might as well force you all to try and get to know me as I did MC the last 2 days. So my goal when I first walked into the Learning Commons was to try and diversify my experience as much as I can, both in the communications department and outside of the basement that we are all forced to call home. I was a member of the swim team for a season, played on the esports team for a couple of years, and I've been a member of the Chamber Singers my entire time here at Marywood. All of these experiences have made me the person that I am today. Now, during my time locked in the basement, I was a radio DJ, a member of Gino's Ball, the first sports podcast here at Marywood. Now for the real sports side of me and what led me to choose to create a sports broadcast for my Capstone. I have been a part of as many sports broadcasts as I possibly could have here at Marywood. From working for the Mid-Atlantic Emmy-nominated basketball broadcast. Hopefully this year we'll no longer be nominated, but we'll do better this year. To commentating on soccer, baseball, softball, and lacrosse, all of these broadcasts have furthered my love for sports broadcasting. Now, unfortunately, I do not have a giant group of friends who are all good at, say, soccer, basketball, to keep those respective audiences of those sports engaged and entertained. So I chose to take myself and all of my hometown's friends' favorite sport, disc golf. Now, is it a sport? I mean, do you consider golf a sport? There's now chess boxing and unicycle hockey, so at this point I think anything could possibly be a sport. But anyways, it is something that I fell in love with shortly after COVID, and the entire disc golf world has only continued to expand to this day. For example, that I hope most people will understand in this room, there are now more disc golf courses in the entire world than there are Dunkin' Donuts, Chick-fil-A's, and other popular fast food restaurants. There's also a disc golf course in every continent, and yes, that includes Antarctica. Believe it or not, I did not know that one for a while. So for my senior Capstone, I put on a disc golf exhibition match titled the Kenilworth Classic, which took place on March 23rd, 2025. And before I get into more details, yes, Mom and Dad watching online, all of this college tuition came down to watching my friends throw frisbees at a basket. Let that one sink in. I hope you are proud after watching this, and I hope I can still retain my role as favorite child. But in all seriousness, I put a lot of hard work and long hours to bring this broadcast to its full potential. There were many hills and valleys to get through to bring this niche hippie sport to all of your eyes today. For example, my initial date of March 16th was thrown out the window by 50-mile-per-hour winds and rain all day. Can't play golf in that, can't play disc golf in that, don't even want to go outside in that. But we powered through and were able to get everything filmed for you today. I also was nearly hit in the head and put a $4,000 camera in danger one too many times. I'm sorry about that. I got it back in one piece. But anyways, I'll get into more details following, but please enjoy the Kenilworth Classic. We almost did it perfect.
Oh,
The refresh can.
refresh.
There we go.
Yay!
2025 Color Classic. Really spring disc golf here. From spring to
Wow.
That is all that will be. Now, before I get into the details, yeah, he did actually ace that on his first drive. No, I'm not that good at editing to fake that. If I did, I probably would have been hired yesterday. Also, he unfortunately is not here today. Apparently, Scranton men's lacrosse has an NCAA tournament game, and I'm not important. So, but anyways, I'm still shocked at how that all started out. But from everything that you just saw, from the editing, graphics, commentary, and some of the camera angles were all done by myself. A lot of long hours went into putting this project together. There are a lot of little details that the normal eye probably wouldn't notice when you're watching a sports broadcast. And I hope that all of the attention to detail in my project can one day land me in a job in the many roles that are required to make a broadcast successful. I truly could not be more proud of how everything turned out. And if you're interested in watching the full coverage, I did split the front and nine back holes, or front nine and back nine holes, and it will be uploaded to my YouTube channel in 30 minutes, maybe? We'll find out. But anyways, for my future plans, I plan on finding a job in sports broadcasting, whether it is the four major sports across the United States or soccer. Maybe I'll land a job with the Disc Golf Pro Tour. I don't know yet, but I'm ready to take my talents to whatever company can offer me a job and save me from crippling debt. Lastly, I wanted to thank everybody who helped make this project possible. To all my players watching online, Dave, Bros, Andrew, John, thank you so much for your time and your dedication. You're some of the closest friends that I had throughout high school, and I really couldn't have done it without you. My brother, I know you don't really play, but Jack, thank you for not hanging out with your girlfriend and not coming out to the course with me for one day and doing one of the T-pad cameras. And then Andrew Mayan, once again, for doing a fantastic job with all the drone shots. Thank you for being patient and redoing the shots when requested. And to Bros, thank you for writing and composing the initial songs that you hear throughout the actual front nine holes. That was an awesome little detail, and I really appreciate your work. This project was my responsibility, but I hope you guys all feel a sense of pride of being a part of something we hold onto for the rest of our lives. And finally, Dr. Watanis, for letting me take something so niche and turn it into a project that I am immensely proud of. I have to be honest, when I first pitched the idea and your response was, I have no idea what this is, but it sounds cool. Had me pretty nervous. But I appreciate you truly giving me the time of day, letting me explain why this would be beneficial to me, and allowing me to do something most people would consider a waste of time. Now that the speech is about wrapped up, I hope my parents' anxiety levels have dropped knowing that their son's entire college debt came down to disc golf. Maybe all those times I ran away to New Jersey to play at Stafford Woods finally make sense now. And if anyone is curious about my favorite hobby and wants to talk about it, I would love to answer questions after today has concluded. But thank you, everybody, and I hope you enjoyed the Kenilworth Classic.
I mean, what a way to wrap it up.
Sure, dude.
Yeah. I mean, following short, that was going to be tough, but I think we killed it. We're our final three presenters. Please join me at the front for a few more questions. Who is the first question?
I have a question for Rachel.
Yeah.
We were talking about your website. What's it called?
It's called AI Future of Academia and Professions, but it did not fit in the search bar. It is published, but it's a real pain to find, so I'm going to try to work on that.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you.
Sure.
Julian?
I have questions for all three presenters, one each individual and then one big one. Firstly, Rachel, because your project is on AI, what's your viewpoint of it?
Honestly, that's a great question, and I'm pretty divided because it's useful for certain things, but then it's really a problem for other aspects. Like, for the art, I go into how with AI generated drawings, they don't compensate the artist, and it's not original work, like, it's all copyrighted. But then for something like maybe getting your thoughts together for an essay, as long as you don't use it, yeah, that's fine.
Sorry. What do you think of that season?
Well,
Well, I mean, Corey's a big fan of the Steelers, but I mean, I do have some relatives that are Steelers fans, so like, I think they did okay. So, thank you.
And you singled out soccer. Is that because it's one of the worst sports ever conceived?
I'm sorry, what was the last part of that question?
Is it just you singled it out just because, or is it just because it's one of the worst sports ever conceived?
Well, I wouldn't say it's the worst sport ever conceived. I understand 100% where you're saying from. I mean, I grew up loving the beautiful game. It's something, I mean, I go every 4 years. The World Cup is on, and unfortunately, when it was in Qatar, it was during school time. So, to any of my teachers that I had junior year, that fall semester, I may have been watching soccer during your classes, and I apologize. But no, I mean, it's truly my favorite sport. I mean, I love it dearly. That's why I singled it out.
And I lied when I said it was for 3 of you. This is for the entire senior class of 2025.
Good.
Do you all take pride in knowing that your intro video completely blew out the class of 2023?
It's an achievement.
Yeah. I actually had the privilege to edit the actual promo video, and I had some folks as well. I would say the script writing and the storytelling, I think, was well done. And, you know, I want to actually give thanks to Kyle and Janelle, who are both here today, to, you know, be able to produce the story. So, it was awesome.
Shame on all of you.
You know, Julian, they watched yours.
I know. That's why I heard. That's why I heard.
Sorry, Julian. So to the juniors, what's next? That's the question.
And no, I will not be.
Good question.
Got it.
Soren, what's your favorite sporting event?
What are you referring to, like, as a sport? Like, are you referring to, like,
In general.
Oh.
Your favorite one.
I would say, I guess surprisingly, the Nina's pizza bites are really good.
They're best.
I never had it before, but Cameron also kind of convinced me to actually get it too. So I was like, all right, cool.
This one's for Cam.
Yes.
You said that you put in a bunch of small details that most people wouldn't notice at first glance. Which one of those was your favorite to have?
Favorite was the one that actually worked, which was probably the lower thirds that I made for the drones. Everything else was a real pain, and honestly, if it wasn't for Professor Murphy, like I would have never even bothered touching After Effects. So he was a big help with getting rid of all of the kinks from when the font completely blew up, and then like I completely lost my font. But definitely the ones that worked was probably my favorite.
I have a question for Cam. Can you explain hyzer line? What is it? Like, I don't know much about disc golf, but I know it's like an important term.
So it's like if you're trying to throw flat, like it's just flat. Hyzer is you're tilting the side of the disc down towards the ground, and hyzer is when you're going up towards the sky. So it's like a difference. Is like each disc has their own like stability, which like how quickly it's going to crash to the left. So like you kind of adjust that as you would if you're trying to play golf, hit a draw, or anything like that. It's kind of like the same thing, but you get different outcomes depending on what angle you put on the actual frisbee.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Hill? I just have a question for Cam. When the disc golfer got the ace on that first hole, how soon did you go to your camera and see, did we get that shot?
Actually, pretty quickly, because there was about a group of 10 dads right behind us. Like, we actually had a big crowd at the initial hole. Everyone wanted to see it. And I mean, that was the first thing that I actually edited on my project, because my one friend, he wanted to submit it to this professional disc golfer. His name is Simon Lazat. He's got about 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. But he wanted to turn it in because he does like a shot of the week every week. And actually, within 2 days of sending that email, the next episode, that clip was actually included in his episode of him recapping his I think it was his Nashville tournament or something. But
follow up for Cam. Yeah. Also, sometimes when you're working on a project, there are things you almost interpret as an omen. That this is a good thing, I'm making the right choice. How much of an impact would you say that had on you going forward as you were trying to do your project and tell your story?
So when I initially pitched, someone made the joke on Monday about how like we all had an idea junior year and then everyone threw it out the window. I was definitely in that same boat, and I initially wanted to do a documentary of a certain topic back in my hometown, and then I ended up taking a documentary class with Al Manelli, and then it just got to the point where I realized like this is going to be my entire semester, and if I wasn't doing something that I was going to have a ton of fun with, if I didn't know my clear vision, if I knew it wasn't going to benefit me in the long run, I figured why do it? Like do something that I want to do for the rest of my life so I can actually show like a future employer like what I can do.
Well done.
Thank you.
My question is for Soren. Soren, how did you get around the no food in the podcast room?
Don't mention the air fryer.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the air fryer.
I found ways around.
Fair enough.
That's right.
I'm sure Dr. Matanas understood.
The project was great.
It's like some songs up there.
Any more questions?
Hi. I don't know if a presenter can ask questions, but I have two questions and a statement. First question is for Rachel. What was it like balancing two senior projects?
It was a lot. I definitely felt overwhelmed at times. I mean, Dr. Watanis, how many times did you have to reassure me I wasn't close to failing?
Yes, many. Rachel didn't say, but Rachel's a double major in writing, English writing, and multimedia.
Yeah, I think Vinny covered that briefly. And hey, you got my last name right, so congratulations. Overwhelming, but I think I did well, all things considering. And some even greater news, I didn't cry.
All right. And then my second question is for Cam. Who's your favorite disc golf player? My limited knowledge of disc golf. Who is your favorite? Oh no! Did I just open a can of worms?
Not really. It's just I'm gonna say this dude's name and like it's just like to you guys it's just some random white dude who can throw a frisbee really far. I'm gonna have to go with this guy. His name's Anthony Barella, simply because he can throw over 750 feet on a really good day, and he's massively impressive. I mean, he's not like a real technical player. He's all like power. If I had to like give a golf comparison, like people in the room, Bryson DeChambeau basically, except this one is 21 and a frat boy at ASU.
And then the statement is for Soren. As someone who gets Nina's pretty frequently, you should try the buffalo shrimp next.
Alright. I can start stop you talk, I'm getting hungry.
Okay, that's good.
So what was the one thing that you were most worried about when you started the project, and how did you overcome it successfully?
Well, I would say the one the thing I had to overcome was just being able to find people to talk to. I think that being surrounded by all my friends here in the comm department, I think it was it kind of had the detail based on a lot of things, but I think that it kind of factors in with just being able to know what connection I have with them with their sports teams or whatnot, and then just how it impacts their life essentially. But I would say it was that and the fact that
I would say I think for this project, I really got in my own head a lot, and I thought that was going to be a detriment because I got a few edits, so I fixed them, and then I kept going over and over it again, being like, okay, what did I miss? What did I miss from last time? What did Dr. Watanis not catch? And I'm just going through it up to the point where I'm like, you know what, this looks good. I'm going to turn it in because if I touch it anymore, I'm just going to leave it in a worse place than where it was.
For me, it was just, I mean, I mentioned it briefly in my speech, but my initial date got thrown out the window, which really was a big pain because that was.
I seem to recall asking the question, so Cam, what happens if the weather weather's bad that day.
You push it back for a.
That question in class.
But anyways, because that was so that the 16th was at the time John's only free day because he didn't have a lacrosse game that day because he's busy like playing lacrosse and Sundays are his only free day. So yeah, when that finally happened and like that really sucked. But thankfully, you convince your best friend with a Wawa hoagie and you tell him I'll drive you down. You don't got to worry about anything and you can sleep in my car. So it was just getting everyone to come for the initial day. Like I knew all my friends back at home they didn't have any liabilities or like any stuff going on in their free time, but it was mostly getting his schedule to work with everyone else's so I could actually produce it all.
Thank you again for those thoughtful questions, and congratulations to my fellow students. This concludes the entirety of the 2025 Multimedia Capstone presentation. On behalf of my classmates, I would like to thank you immensely for taking the time to come here and see what we've been working so hard to accomplish.
Thank you to all the family, friends, and students who came out today. We'd also like to thank our instructors who are all in the back of the room for all of their hard work throughout the years. And most importantly, thank you, Dr. Watanis, for helping us with these projects and not saying no to most of them. We couldn't have done it without all of you. Anyways, if any of Day 2's projects piqued your interest, you would like to explore them further, feel free to scan this QR code, which links to all the completed projects.
Just a reminder that we will be celebrating our seniors and the members of Marywood's chapter of the Society of Collegiate Journalists after a short break. Feel free to stick around as we honor them. One last time, let's congratulate the 2025 Capstone presenters. Having the chance to work along each and every one of you has been a blessing, and I wish you the best of luck in all your futures. And as I said on Monday, and as Cam mentioned earlier, we're about to be broke young adults, so we will take tips, Bego, and cash too. Thank you.
We need a photo. Don't run away.
I'm not going anywhere.
Let's get Day 2 over here, and then we're gonna get everybody over here.
That'd be awesome. Oh, what the hell? Yeah, I know.
Can you guys put the first slide up, the 2020 day? That one, yeah. Okay, like, split up
Okay,
evenly.
girls on this side.
Girls, all right? Girls, beep, beep, beep.
Girls on this
And
side.
then close it in. Okay, get like all the way, close it in. Tighter. No, you
Put
right
it on the table.
Just, yeah. Set it up, Liz. Perfect. You guys angle yourself so that you're like tight, to be tighter. Angle your bodies this way. Kyle, angle your body. There you go, like a pom pose. Scoot it in behind there. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, now let's get everybody up there. Oh, wait. Oh, it's for mom. Thank you. Okay, all of our presenters up there. Okay, girls over here.
We got to
Oh, that's okay. We'll put some people in the front. Okay. We're never too wide. Way too big.
Where am I going?
In the front.
In the front,
Say,
right.
half the people in the front. Or like you could scooch down.
Oh, look at this.
somehow.
This is like different, guys in the front.
Too wide. It's way too wide. I can't see Kevin. I can't see Susan.
Maybe some more people.
Exactly. That's the front.
Yeah, there we go.
I can't see Susan. You're gonna have to move, or someone else is going to have to move over. And I can't see Kevin. Kevin, can you come down and put a knee? Take a knee, Kevin. There we go. Okay, ready? 1. Nope, not ready. Okay, here we go. Vinny, take a step in. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Now act like, yay, we're done!
I can feel it because I got checked.
I don't know how to
Good job, Cam. Good job, Cam.
Soren, yes.
Hey, good job, man. Good job.
Congratulations.
What do we do now? Start paying off my student loans.
Okay, I'm a lot of golf. I must know a lot of golf. If you ever go into golf, your deadpan is perfect. Because you sound like you have cannot show I tried not to. I was also after 20 minutes my project. Okay. I was very you know what?
Like, did you record more episodes for the show or just the one? I can't wait to watch
Good job. Can I have a hug?
That's it. There you go. That's it.
Congratulations, that's all. It's 4.5 hours away. You that? You got a Volkswagen? Yeah. Take a picture out to Delaware and then back. No.
I worked on it more than one day. I like to shout out to the video. Square, not residential. I can't hear you, Mel.
Hey, very well done.
When I edited,
You only got 10 cents for
Send me that.
Yeah, I interrupt.
When you're old and have like Alzheimer's and you don't know who anybody is, you should look at those photos.
And not know who anybody is.
Correct.
Yeah, no.
Are you happy it's over? Don't ask anything. After him, Ollie's done.
What's going on?
Can you get in here next week?
Well, I saw what I should take it out.
In the video.
In the video? Yeah. What? No. 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 Never. No. No.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
That's even funnier.
Priorities.
You'll enjoy it.
No news. And then maybe sharing that's
right here. Yes.
Yes. I know. Okay. I can handle all of that.
Right now.
Yeah. I had a question. Is this where I'm done? Okay. So then this is you. Stay up.
All right, I
Besides, when I do get my own round,
You really cannot. That's not my thing. Oh no. I didn't make it.
I also think you
I just don't
Lynn, you just use the wireless mic?
I just screwed something up.
Oh, sorry.
I used the template for my presentation I don't know what my guys did. So if it works, like here. What do you think?
I wish I could.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Use that.
All right.
Right? Well, I knew. All right. Listen to your SNL stuff again. I think with her for a day.
I like use the actual Mario template.
Oh my god! Like, I used to love
I gotta make a copy.
What's the
I just wanted to not have it.
I get that.
Yeah, I didn't know you were such like
You read through this each person gets a rose? Perfect.
Yeah.
I wanted
just like all the movies.
Just put it off the side for now.
Yeah, we got wings flow and all that. So is the rest of that connected to the video?
Jams it up.
Good. Stay up all my things now. So we really made it to the podcast, bro. Nobody put a sign. They should have. Somebody please announce. That's cool. Sorry, those are 14 whatever milligrams of sugar, salt. What are we missing? Popcorn? Oh yeah, but that's top line up there saying it tonight's popcorn. Sorry, this is. You still have time. No, I'm talking about like when you're up there, you should say, "Oh, and the popcorn and Max brought to you by." You can still do it. Just as a joke. It's a leftover. You gotta think of thinking now. Alright, here, let's go up and do a quick video. Put it online. Come on.
This ought to be interesting.
Oh yeah.
Now also Benelli's buttery popcorn.
Wait a minute, that's not. Today's capstone is brought to you by. Okay, ready? Go.
Today's capstone is brought to you by Benelli's buttery popcorn. Only $6.99.
Please email them. Email them.
Wait, are you SCJ?
Yeah.
Just send that to
You're
Al.
the social media person.
Social media, guys.
We do social media.
Benelli's buttery popcorn.
I don't even know.
Benelli's buttery popcorn.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Good job with the MC. Emily, Bobby. Ben, don't go. You're the babe.
Yes, you see.
Ben is here. I tried to make it Emily, Felix.
Oh, so basically I have to go my right.
Kevin, sorry.
Oh, it is now.
No, it's just so late. Sitting in
So just where you're at.
I'm trying to learn how to wait.
Honestly, he's gonna have to come up to sign out.
Okay, that's nice. Okay on that.
Yeah, they just stand wherever they are. No,
I got it. Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, you're gonna sit there? Okay. That's oh, that's fine.
Kyle, are you here? Kyle Driscoll. Kyle.
Kyle?
Hey, Kyle. It's okay. I'll do that.
So fast.
No way. I'm reposting that right
Wait, everyone comment on
That's crazy.
Sorry.
I know.
I'm putting on the switch.
really funny.
This guy is
Good man.
What?
So I wrote it in. Just wanted to see it so that second list as I was going through.
She's good. No, actually, like legit. Good job.
I look so bored.
Where is it?
So, when you have them, it's not in here, but then they can be assigned. Yes, so.
Yes.
There's the people who have
And also it's
and then I put you know, so like which
there's no
and they're gonna
that's okay.
Are you talking about Ninas?
Ninas.
Yes, the Ninas.
But he's being inclusive. So
That's true.
it's a good
Listen, I've never heard of it.
Only a 4.6. Only a 4.6. There are 5.
Listen, so far I had the lowest 45 rating.
What was it? That
garlic parm wings.
Okay, garlic parm can go either way. It can go either way.
They're really good. They're a little tough. That's why.
Yeah, they're good.
They gotta be that happy. You know? I'm no wing expert.
No press. Lindsay said Ben gets one. Right? Ben.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Felix too.
What an incredible capstone. Make sure a lot of what an incredible. And it's the whole collegiate level. At the end, you see
And then mine says, this guy rocks. I know.
Yeah, you should.
I'm not curb stomping.
It's Soren should.
Sorry, we're out of time to run a lap. We got like a week and a half.
See, and he has to run his laps while saying the pledge. That's when he does a line of the pledge, the lap total. Yes. So you have to run. You gotta do the laps, but you gotta say the pledge also.
How about that was
Or that. I mean, hey,
that was I was like, that was a 2 miles there.
2 miles. So it's 4.
It's 4 meters a mile. So you have to repeat.
Or you no. I was gonna say 999. So that's not cardio basketball, right? So you can do anything. Yeah. So he needs to handle the hands. You don't need to handle the actually.
That's a good.
Yeah, you escape. I guess.
And then
No, you go. I texted back to that for fun.
Would you like the pledge?
Thank you so much.
Of course, no problem.
Is this the day we're actually? It's like now I get it. One of the. I didn't know. Yeah, it's been. Yeah, we got 4 minutes. Was that? No.
I could get one of these here.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. I have read and understood.
So, I have no idea is that going to be on the program graduation?
It still does. Which I'm wondering
I walked in the door and there was like I missed all the
that was when I want to remember that when I
did. I was going to ask you. I wanted to work for a job just to stay.
It's pretty
I mean,
all right.
All right, we appreciate timeliness and efficiency in multimedia comm. So we're going to get started. It's 4 o'clock. Welcome, everybody. It's wonderful to see a full room of happy faces, and a special congratulations to our senior capstone students who just successfully completed their capstone presentation. As program director for multimedia communication, I am delighted to be able to greet you today for this ceremony where we will honor our graduating seniors and induct our students into our program's honor societies. And so before we begin the awards and introductions, I want to take a moment to introduce our multimedia communication graduating seniors, majors and minors. Over the past few years, you have staffed radio shifts, anchored the news, written articles for the Woodward, made short films. You have made content and you have made friends. Together we have laughed, sometimes cried, but through it all you have made creative content and learned the skills that you will need
to become professional communicators that the world needs today. So when I call your name, seniors, please come up so that we can recognize you. And don't scurry away. Stay at the front because we're going to get pictures as we go along, okay? Elizabeth Adams. We have flowers for you. Madeline Adams. Kyle Driscoll. Colby Hughes. Run, Colby, run.
Congratulations.
Corey Ayub. Lindsay Jason. Brianna Kohut. Jacob McLean. Sorry, I'm going too fast. Nathan McLean.
Congrats.
I have to say, this is the first time ever we have had 2 sets of twins graduating in the department. So that's unusual, but exciting. Martin Monahan, I don't think Marty is here with us today. But Marty finished his requirements about 7 years ago, all but 3 credits. And he was finally able to come back and complete his degree. So we're really excited for Marty to get his degree. Susan Morel Almonte. Thomas O'Keefe. Do you want to move the flowers over here? You guys scooch downward. We have so many of you. Riley Ravinskas.
Congratulations.
Rubain Singh. Where's Rubain? You guys, this is so Rubain.
He is graduating? Is he?
Kevin Zwica. Soren Sponson.
Congrats, buddy.
Janelle Simones. Rachel Zarowski.
Congratulations.
Before we get to our minors, we want to adopt Mary Pegarella. Mary Pegarella is an arts administration major, and through that major, she takes a core of multicom classes. So she has been with us for quite some time, and we would be remiss to not include Mary in our ceremony. So congratulations to our majors. And now we would like to recognize our multicom minors who will be graduating. With a degree in architecture and a minor in multicom, Emily Gunsel. Emily Rowe, musical theater, right, Emily? Theater. I'm so sorry. With a major in theater and a minor in multicom, Emily Rowe. And Taylor Zacharias, who is also a major in theater and a minor in multicom. There's no one we missed, right? Everyone? This is amazing. This is one of our largest graduating classes in the 15 years that I have been here. We could not be prouder of all of you. Congratulations. Everybody's going to take a picture, but I think it's a little too wide, so we're going to have to bring it in.
Why don't the guys be up front? Women. Gentlemen, or ladies. I might have to go.
to the chapel to get this.
Let's move down more, and then like go in.
Do the girls do 2 rows?
You kind of are.
Everybody ready?
There we go. There.
That's better. Hey, multicom.
Multicom.
Got it.
You can all sit down now. We cannot wait to see what comes next for you, the stories you will tell on paper, online, on television and film, and most of all, in the lives you will create for yourselves. Please keep in touch. And so without further ado, let's jump into our honors and awards. To announce our new inductees to Lambda Pi Eta, I'm pleased to welcome to the podium our newest addition to the department, Multimedia Communication Assistant Professor of Practice, Mr. Bill Murphy.
Good afternoon. I'm pleased to present to you our new inductees to Lambda Pi Eta Rho Tau chapter. Lambda Pi Eta is the official National Honor Society of the National Communication Association. To be inducted, students must have an overall institutional cumulative GPA of 3.0, as well as a minimum GPA of 3.25 in their major. Students, when I call your name, please come up to the front to be recognized and to receive your honor cords, certificate, and pin. Please remain up front until all inductees have been presented. First up, Vincent Goldschmidt. Lindsay Jason. Janelle Simones. And lastly, Rachel Zarubski.
Okay, come down this way a little bit, guys. We've got a photo. Did they move too far?
No, actually slide down a little more. You have video mapping on your page. No, that doesn't happen. Well, you look better.
Big round of applause, everybody. Big round of applause. Congratulations to all of our Lambda Pi Eta inductees. I'm going to turn things back over to Dr. Ratanas for presentation of the Linnet Medal.
It is my pleasure to announce this year's winner of the Linnet Medal for Academic Distinction in Multimedia Communication. The Linnet Medal for Academic Distinction in Multicom was founded by the late E.J. Linnet and in memory of his wife, Ellen Ruddy Linnet. It is awarded annually to the multimedia communication student with the highest GPA. The winner of this year's Linnet Medal of Academic Distinction in Multimedia Communication is Madeline Adams. Maddie, you have been a valuable member of the program, and while earning high academic honors, you have also made significant contributions to our student media organizations and campus as a leader and mentor. We are immensely proud to count you among our alumni. Congratulations. Ernie, did you get that? Did you get a photo?
I got video.
Oh, that's good. And now I'm going to turn things over to Senior Multicom Major Kyle Driscoll, who is president of our Society for Collegiate Journalists chapter. Kyle will conduct our Society for Collegiate Journalists induction ceremony. Oh, I have more to say. Sorry. The Society for Collegiate Journalists is the nation's oldest honor society for student media leaders. Journalism is a foundation of democracy, and to ensure its future, SCJ focuses on professional development at the collegiate level. SCJ advances ethical, accurate, and innovative collegiate journalism nationally and creates a strong network of advocates for First Amendment education. We have been inducting members into the Marywood chapter since 2011, and we are pleased to invite a new class of students to join this spring. So here's Kyle.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kyle Driscoll, and I am the president of the Marywood chapter of the Society for Collegiate Journalists. On behalf of our members and our advisor, Dr. Lindsay Watanis, I welcome you to campus as we prepare to induct our new class of students into the Society. Thank you for being here to support our student journalists today, and thank you for the support you have shown and will continue to show them on their educational journey. As presiding officer of this meeting of the Society for Collegiate Journalists, I greet with pleasure the candidates for admission. They are Casey Ames, Cameron Gorman, Lindsay Jason, Mary Pegarella, Riley Rabinskis, Emily Rowe, and Robert Russo. The following students were inducted last year into our society. We did not have a ceremony, and so we'd like to recognize these students now and invite those who are here with us today to participate in the recitation of the pledge. Benjamin Galco, Kate Gibbons, Emily Gunzel, Colby Hughes, Kiera Keating, Felix Latini, Jacob McLean, Nathan McLean, Macy Morcom, Bernard Radel, Charlotte Rocher, Madeline Scott, Kevin Smoka, Soren Swanson, Donnell Simonis, and Rachel Zarubsky. You have been selected to be members of the Society for Collegiate Journalists because of your achievements in collegiate publications and broadcasting. The Society, which is the nation's oldest honorary society for mass communications, admits as members only those whose persons exemplify the dignity, personal freedom, and initiative that we believe are the hallmarks of excellence in collegiate communications. As a National Honor Society for men and women, the Society attempts to provide its members the opportunity to discuss the journalist's role and performance, to encourage the standards of good practice, and to enjoy the rewards of positive contributions to the betterment of mass communications and the public they serve. Never in the history of mass communications has the role of the journalist been more important than it is today. The journalist and his or her stories are the primary links to the public. Reporters disseminate information and commentary each and every day, whether on the campus or in the city, nation, or world. Members of the Society of Collegiate Journalists pledge to gather all news and opinions concerning issues and events on campus, striving at all times for accuracy and fairness, and to safeguard the freedom of all campus media in order that they be able to serve the campus community without dictation or restraint. In the judgment of the Society for Collegiate Journalists, these standards represent the highest precepts of enlightened and professional journalism. The Society now asks you to pledge to pursue only the highest ideals in one of the most demanding and most difficult professions of our time, journalism. All right, now here's the weird part. Will the members, new and existing, now stand and enjoy with the initiates in reciting the pledge with me? You should have a copy of the pledge. We'll recite it together now. I feel like a preacher. I come before you seeking membership in the Society for Collegiate Journalists. I have read and understand the national constitution and bylaws, and pledge to uphold the ethical standards of the society. I also pledge to subscribe willingly to the practice of freedom of expression and will guard against the abuse of this right. I understand I am held accountable for the content of the printed page of the broadcast and must stand firmly by what I believe to be right in this campus. All right, that's over. Good to see you. The Society for Collegiate Journalists therefore urges you to value mass communications. As a member of the Society, you shall stand on your honesty of purpose, your belief in the work of our Society, and your intellectual integrity. As you sign the honor roll, we welcome you into our chapter. This is for the new inductees. Casey Ames. Thank you. Cameron Gorman. Thank you. Lindsay Jason. Mary Pegarella. Riley Rabinskis. Congratulations. Emily Rowe. And Robert Russo. I believe we'll be taking a picture with this year's class, so please, are any of you on that? Did you get a group one?
Yes, come to the front, please. Okay, sorry.
Yep.
Right over here.
Yeah, no, poor Colby has video mapping on his face. Go ahead. Ready? 3, 2, got it.
And now we invite any inductees from last year to come to the front to sign the honor roll as well. Read these names again. Benjamin Galco. Faith Gibbons. Emily Gunzel. Colby Hughes. Kiera Keating. Felix Latini. Jacob McLean. Nate McLean. Macy Morcom. Bernard Radel. Charlotte Rocher. Madeline Scott. Kevin Sloka. Soren Swanson.
Make sure you're feeling good. We got it.
John L. Simonis. And Rachel Zarubsky.
This is a crazy It's a crazy angle on my shoulder. Okay. You can't see the whole Where you want them? In the front?
Yeah, we're like in the front. We might have you guys in the front.
Slide down so you guys don't have the projector on your face.
Good job,
I was like nervous to show him. Yeah, no, it's not good. I appreciate it. Yes. I don't have to release the word. So I'm like, what to do? But I'm just on my house.
Can't see Rach. Cut.
Please join me in congratulating our new members. It says applause. Dr. Watanas will now present the SCJ honor cords to our graduating seniors.
Thanks, Kyle. It's my pleasure to serve as president of the National Board of the Society for Collegiate Journalists, as well as advisor to our Marywood chapter. And I'm excited to celebrate our graduating seniors and recognize their contributions to our chapter, as well as our campus media organizations. These students, who represent disciplines including art, arts administration, architecture, multimedia communication, and education, have made lasting impacts on the Woodward, TVM News, TVM Sports, 91.7 BMFM. We are grateful for their contributions and proud to call them SCJ alumni. They will wear these honor cords at graduation as a symbol of their membership in and the good works on behalf of the Society for Collegiate Journalists. So students, when I call your name, please come forward to be recognized and receive your cords. Elizabeth Adams. Madeline Adams. Kyle Driscoll. Vincent Goldschmidt. Cameron Gorman. Emily Gunsel. Colby Hughes. Lindsay Jason. Kira Keating, she couldn't be with us today. Brianna Kohut. Thomas O'Keefe. Mary Pegarella. Julie Potter is not with us. Riley Ravinskas. Scott also couldn't join us. Soren Sponson. And Janelle Simonis. Congratulations to all of our SCJ graduating seniors. We've come this far. We're going to get another photo. I
You
also
know
feel
the
like
drill, people. Why do you guys slide over there?
I feel like I was coming up short with my announcing of the names after following Kyle. I had to work on that.
Men down in front, please.
Yeah.
And Adams twins.
And
That's fine.
us too. Okay. Sorry. What were you doing?
By the way, you'll be getting a call next week from the Alumni Association and Development.
Is
Got it.
that serious?
No.
Good.
The families are still taking photos, you guys. Look alive. Okay. We're good. And last but not least, each year the Society for Collegiate Journalists hosts a national contest where members can submit their very best work from the previous year for a chance to be recognized. And they compete nationally among schools of all varying sizes that are members of the Society for Collegiate Journalists. This year, I'm proud to announce that our students and media organizations came away with 6 awards and 2 honorable mentions. So it's my pleasure to announce those winners now. First place for commercial promotion PSA category at the Woodward, Felix Latini. Woodward
Thank you. Down shopping.
I wouldn't, because the next award also has your name on it. Third place, commercial promotion and PSA. What's the Woodward on the Street promo? Kyle Driscoll and Felix Latini. I don't know why, but they only gave us 1. We'll make a copy. Kyle, you can sit. But Felix, you should stay.
I'll stay right here.
Honorable mention, commercial, promotion, and PSA. I think we're starting to see a theme here. The Woodward Athlete Spotlight Season 1 promo, Felix Latini and Vincent Goldschmidt. Let me just look ahead here. Felix, you can have a seat, but Vinny! Congratulations for your 3rd place win in sports column writing for the Woodward's 2024 MLB Awards and Predictions. And our last individual award goes to Brianna Kohut. Honorable mention in the review category for her piece titled Marywood's Bad Forest is terrific and challenging. Congratulations. And we had 3 awards for our organizations. We received 3rd place in the election coverage category for TVM's live election coverage last fall. So congratulations to the TVM team. We'll hang that up in the studio. We also received 3rd place for television live event broadcast for Marywood University's live basketball broadcast 2024. So congratulations to the basketball crew. who also received an Emmy nod earlier in the year. So we are super proud of them for that. Are we going to win next year?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We better.
Okay.
Absolutely. No excuse. Win or lose, we're on
No
Broad Street.
excuses.
Yes.
But we're going to win next year. And last but not least, third place in the podcast category goes to the Marywood audio class for their MMG Old Time Radio series. So congrats to all the students in Mr. Donnelly's class for their work on that project. Another round of applause for all of our award winners. And that's it. That concludes our 2025 Multimedia Com Honors and Award Ceremony. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. And once again, congratulations to our award recipients and Honor Society inductees. We are very proud of your accomplishments. Graduation is Saturday, May 17th at 1 p.m., as if you didn't already know, at the Mohegan Sun Arena. We look forward to celebrating with you again on this momentous occasion in your lives. We'd like to, I was going to ask the award winners to stay for photographs, but in our spirit of efficiency, we've taken care of that already. So, if there's any popcorn left, please help yourself. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your night. Congratulations, and thank you for being with us. I need the pledges back. SCJ, collect the pledges.
I got you. On it.
You'll hold it back.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congrats on basketball, boys.
I didn't even think of that. Well, it was a pleasure. Worked hard. Riley, I worked hard. Give me a home address. Unlike the applicants or I've never had a conversation.
No, that's
I have this.
Congrats.
Thank you. Congrats.
All right.
Yeah, can you give me your address?
Yeah.
So it's Robert.
Yeah, it's back. Just
Okay, that's it. It just might take a little bit of time.
That's okay.
Lindsay, here's the pledges. And how else can I help you with the event breakdown?
I'm just gonna.
Peter out.